baby, you don't have a confidence problem. You have a not following your word problem. Watch this to believe in yourself. Listen, I want you to know, first things first, you are so unique that God literally created your own unique fingerprints. And you're telling me you're trying to compare yourself with other people. It's easier said than done, don't get me wrong, I completely understand. But I feel like sometimes as humans we have this tendency where we look for things in people that we find unique, beautiful, like something nice, but we don't use that same energy to redirect it towards ourselves. Like you would be so quick, like someone can be so quick to notice how someone's beautiful, mesmerizing, whatever, but we're so quick to be hard on ourselves, see flaws easily. Anything unique about you, we don't really take it as serious, you know. And I had this issue for the longest time. For the longest time I was like, you know what, I had no idea that the life experiences that I went through or experienced, especially for the past 3 to 4 years, literally gave me so much knowledge, made me so patient with myself. Being alone for 3 years with no friends, all of that taught me so much about myself. Within those 3 years I've learned a lot about myself. I evolved so much. Why would God take his time, his precious time, because God, you know, he's a patient person, but God took his time whipping in the kitchen like a stir fry. Okay, anyways, so God took his time to create you and give you space to come to this earth, and you're telling me you can't even believe in yourself? You don't even have self-confidence. You're so quick to doubt yourself and your vision. But it's like when it comes to other people, it's like, yes, go Lucy, I believe in you, day in, day out. But when it comes to little old you, where is that same energy? Why do you not want to give yourself your flowers? Because you deserve it. I know you deserve it. God knows you deserve it. You have to also understand, as much as you want to be there for people, you have to be there for yourself. Because your self-confidence is going to go even lower when you start doing these things. And one of it is always being in constant calls, hanging out with people, with your friends or whatever, all the fucking time. Where is your own energy? Where is your own autonomy of your own energy? How can you pour into your craft or birth something when you're constantly giving your energy to other people? How do you think you're going to bring anything in life? It takes life. Just like how a mother gives life to a baby, she gives that baby life, she takes care of it, and within that 9 months the baby is formed or whatever. But with you are always like giving energy, stopping, giving it to other people. How long is it gonna take you to understand and realize if you don't come home to yourself, God will have a very funny way, the universe will have a very funny way of bringing you home to yourself. And for me, for the longest, I was getting betrayed by people. People were being very disloyal and all of that shit. And then I constantly was like in that phase of like, alright, cool, she does me wrong, I'm gonna just not speak to you, I'll make another friend. I never went home to myself. A lot of people, what I like to call it is like, you are kangaroos, you are friendship hopping, relationship hopping, whatever the case is. Yeah, it's like you guys are kangaroos, just like a kangaroo. It's like you're hopping from one place to another. Why would you do that? You need to heal, because if you don't heal, you're gonna just bleed that onto other people, and no one is responsible for you. No one is your caretaker. Even your partner is not your caretaker. Everyone has their own free will. You can be with someone, but you have to internalize, if this person walks out of my life, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna still have my own. Don't be swayed by other people. Don't lose yourself over other people, because it's not gonna end pretty for you. I'm just saying. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I know it's easier said than done, because when you're in the situation and you're in it, you don't really think rational. You're like stuck in your feelings, emotions, which is fine. This is why I am so pro like take a break, even if it's for a year. Maybe 3 years is a lot for people, but I had to take my own 3 years. Take literally even 6 months off. Don't be that girl, don't be that guy. It's very draining. You look like you don't have a backbone for yourself, and it's like, why would you give that energy to people when you're just gossiping and talking over the phone? People can't even these days be comfortable within themselves. Be comfortable within yourself, where like even being alone is company. It's vibes. Being alone is vibes. Don't get me wrong, don't isolate, don't do like, you know what I mean, too much of anything is never good. But, you know, everything in moderation. And I think there was a research done where they said that a child that grew up where like their parents had so much confidence in them, and they gave that child so much confidence to be him or her self unapologetically, like authentic as fuck. That child grew up with so much confidence that like at the end of the day, even if the world says no, I will still make it, I'll still do it. This is why as adults we forget that we were children. We learned as we grew up, so we forget to realize that even if we're grown up, we're still children at heart. We are just grown physically. So it's so important, especially if you are, let's just say, given bad beliefs or bad negative things that does not serve you, like you're gonna be a failure, you will never amount to anything, all of these things. When those things are said repeatedly over and over again to a child, the child will start to internalize it as truth, as real. This is why the first people that give you their programs are your parents. God doesn't doom you, it's your parents that be giving you that fuckery. But this is when you come in, and this is when your free will comes in, because God said, you know what, you can have a fucked up upbringing, but you can change that. You change that by reprogramming your mind. And let me just give you some game. If you don't have it like that, like your life is shambles, dysfunctional home, all of that, and you're young as well, listen, capitalize on your morning routines to reprogram your mind. Like you must, you have no choice. You have to be up every single day, 5 a.m, 4 a.m, 6 a.m, whatever you choose your time, day in and day out. Brainwash yourself, tell yourself every single day, day in, day out, I am a successful whatever, I am this, I am that, because those were the same wording, those were the same programs that were given to you as a child. Now, because you are old enough, you have that conscious free will, you can alter that, you can change that, you know. So don't live by default, because if you live by default, you're gonna just become like your mom, you're gonna become just like your dad, point oi. So don't do that. And you will know what I mean when you start reacting like them, thinking like them. Those are things like, why would you repeat your parents? Why would God bring you to earth to basically create an identical version when it comes to your parents' beliefs, self-concept, all of that? Why would God do copy paste? God will never want humans to be like that. God wants us to have mental evolution, physical evolution, spiritual evolution, because those things are so important. And in us evolving, other people get inspired and they also evolve. This is why I personally believe when you step into your most highest form, you would be so surprised on who you inspire on the way. And yeah, sometimes you just have to be that person that does things different. Is it good? Is it bad? You just have to like see it like, you know what I mean? You just have to see it like, yo, this is my goal. I don't give a fuck. Like, being broke is hard. I'm already being judged. I might as well do what I want and struggle on the way. But at least I know I'm getting there. And at least I know being broke, like, I'll have no one to rely on. I'll just be broke and I'll just become like my parents. My worst, like, life to live. And just have like an ultimatum. Be like, yo, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to waste my potential. I'm in my 20s. I still have time. I personally believe if you put your mind into something for a year and a bit, like a year-ish, day in, day out, especially if you grew up in a dysfunctional household, brainwash yourself day in, day out. I can't emphasize how important it is to do that, because if you don't have money, if you don't have resources, and you're living under your parents, what the fuck can you do? You have your mind. If your mind is the thing that creates your reality, then work with it. Why would you work against it? If that is the thing, if you have accessibility towards, change that, and in you changing that, everything else around you will work out for you. Trust me, because I'm saying this from experience, and you would be so surprised. Also, if you want to believe in yourself, you have to start protecting your energy. When you don't protect your energy, you give it to other people, it's leaky. Yeah, I started noticing. Don't get me wrong, I know there's two types of people in this world. people who take energy, people who naturally produce a lot of energy by themselves. I am the type of person where I am like, when I am alone, I have a lot of energy, I have a lot of clarity, ideas flow in, flow, and I just have so much energy to the point where, like, if I speak to someone, I uplift them, they feel energized, all of that shit. I started noticing that like just now. Before it was like, yeah, whatever, I wasn't as attuned. Anyways, that comes with you being alone a lot. When you become alone a lot, you become so receptive to a lot of shit, and like the way you look at things, it almost changes. It changes your perception on a lot of things. Even you picking on certain things other people would never pick on, you become like very like, yeah. Anyways, so leaky energy is never good. If you want to birth anything, you need to have your energy within you. You need to have your own energy. I think successful business people say do deep work upon waking up because they're pouring majority of their energy towards their businesses. This is why it's so important for you to do that. You can't be living your life saying you want a better life but be on three-way calls, always saying yes to outings. Don't get me wrong, there's a place and a time, but listen, if you want a different life, if you want something bigger for you, you need to move different. You can't do what the normie does. You have to be completely different in your way of thinking, your approach, your environment. Do what you have to do. Even if you don't have it like that, even if your environment is not like that, make it be, you know? This is why I believe free will is so beautiful, because you can literally choose to change your life. You are your own author. No one's coming to save you. And no, for me, no one can. You were born in a era where you know things that your parents don't know, and because you know those certain things that they don't know, you have the ability to maneuver more smoother, whilst for them they will have to do the long-winded way of things to get certain things, whilst for you, you will know what you have to do, but your ability to not follow through is not good, because the only reason why you don't believe in yourself is because you don't stick to your words. And your mind is always calculating, is always listening to you, is following through or not following through. When you do the things that you should be doing, your body, your mind trusts you, and then you gain confidence. People who don't have confidence is because they do not trust themselves, and to even condense it down, they do not follow their own words. By you following your own word, you are commanding your will, and you're basically asserting your authority by saying, yo, I trust myself to do this, and therefore I will get confidence. Yeah, follow through with your words. That's how you get confidence.